What y'all, what's going on? Welcome to another Job Soul Stories. It's your man, Justice Over Brutality, King Job, and you already know what it is, man. We back to talk about my album. We back to talk about why I want to make it, what to expect, and you know what I'm saying, just a little bit more about myself. I feel like, you know what I'm saying, the last couple of things I was doing, I felt like I didn't really give y'all really just who I really am, and just, you know what I'm saying, I didn't really tell y'all really why I got into this thing called hip hop. So, you know what I'm saying, I just wanted to break it down to y'all real quick. So, first off, the Book of Job came to me when I was, just trying to figure out this thing of just really who I was and what I wanted to do and what I wanted to, you know what I'm saying, talk about. Um, the name, first of all, came from the Bible, of course. Most people who know the story of Job, you know what I'm saying, about how, you know what I'm saying, Satan wanted to prove to God that, you know what I'm saying, Job wasn't, you know what I'm saying, as chosen and as favored as God said he was. You know, so he told God that, hey, I promise you, if you, the only reason why Job is as faithful to you as, and as favored as you say he is because of everything that you've given to him. Job was wealthy. Job had everything, a family, lands, and he was a very wealthy man. So, God said, go ahead, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna prove to you that Job is as faithful as I say he is. You can take whatever you want to take from Job, but just don't touch his soul. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why, I just felt, and that just touched me because, ever since I was a youngster, I've been through so much trials and tribulations in my life. I could just relate. I'm not saying I'm Job, but I could just relate. You know what I'm saying, to what he was going through. So it just identified with me. You know what I'm saying. And then the whole thing with me and my pops going back and forth. That had a little bit to do with it. But so I just, I took that and I just said, this is who this is who I identify myself as. So that's where, where Job came from. And I really believe in that because, I've had to deal with just, in this music game, you deal with just so many people and you deal with just, so many just, you deal with a lot of people, just kind of, always wanting to take from you, never giving. And that's just a part of life. So, it all started for me when I was around, I would say 14, 16 years old. I experienced, just hip hop, wanting to get into, just, this thing called music. And we used to always go to church a lot. I was raised in the church. My pops used to take me to church every Sunday. So I used to always watch the musicians. And I used to listen to a lot of the records my pops used to play. He used to play a lot of old school records and stuff like that. So, that kind of like, stuck with me. And I just knew that music was something that I really wanted to do. Music is, I feel like, that one thing that can bring people together. Like no matter what type of like, no matter where you are in the world, there's always music. Like I wonder sometimes, do we think like what the world would be like without music? You know what I'm saying? Like I always tell people this. Like I'm a rapper, so like my whole thing is like I can always tell a person just by what their playlist look like. You know what I'm saying? I judge a person like off their playlist. It may sound crazy, but you know people still remember music and the way they felt when they first heard a record from way back when they was like 5, 6, 7 years old. You know what I'm saying? So that's how powerful music is. So I believe that when you run out, meet a person and see what their playlist look like, you know what I'm saying, and that lets you know really, just what that person is really about, because what you take in is what you really are. I really believe that. If you ugly on the inside, you ugly on the outside. Period. So um, I just, music, my dad really cared about what we listened to, you know what I'm saying? So we didn't really have a lot of rap in the house. It was just mostly gospel and Michael Jackson. I didn't hear my first rap song until I turned like maybe like 14, 15, 16. I heard some Pac, and it just changed my life, you know what I'm saying? And when I started going through my trials and tribulations and stuff like that, that's when Nas started to come in, Jay-Z, you know what I'm saying, and all of that. I could really identify with what they was talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like these cats kind of raised me, you know what I'm saying, in a way, you know what I'm saying? So when I listen to their rhymes, you know what I'm saying, it just, um, like I remember the first time I heard, Jay-Z's American Gangster, you know what I'm saying? And that album was, you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying, just incredible, you know what I'm saying? Like songs like Pray, you know what I'm saying, was real therapeutic, you know what I'm saying? So, it just inspired me, you know what I mean? I knew by watching those guys, I wanted to do more and talk more about just what I was raised around. And, you know, that's how this whole thing came about. And then the production side of things, was more of just like going through trials and tribulations again with different people, working with different producers and people trying to play me and, you know what I'm saying, selling me fake beats and all of that. So having to go through all of that and then people trying to take credit of my hard work when I could have swore I wrote most of these records by myself. So, you know, I wanted to prove to people that I am the artist that I say I am, that I am the musician that I say I want to be. You know, like, in a way, I'm happy that everybody, you know what I'm saying, trying to play me because it forced me to just lock in and produce every beat myself, you know, like staying up for hours and hours and hours, not getting no sleep, just perform, just like, you know, making beats, you know what I'm saying, until I just couldn't no more, until I just would go to sleep. And I shocked myself, you know what I'm saying? I didn't really realize how good I was. I'm not trying to like toot my own horn or nothing like that, but you know what I'm saying? I'll put my all into this album. So, you know, I hope everybody, you know what I'm saying, rocks with it. I hope everybody, you know what I'm saying, just, you know, kind of just, you know what I'm saying, just rock with what I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying? So that's the whole thing. And, and one thing I will say, like, you know, I put so much into this album, so I just hope that everybody enjoys it, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying, that's really all I want to talk about right now on this episode, but I will see you on the next episode of Job Soul Stories, you know what I'm saying? Y'all stay real, y'all show love, respect to each other, you know what I'm saying? I'm outie. Peace.